Tell us what you did before you joined Uniseed and a bit about your background.
Sure. Before Uniseed, I've been involved in startup companies in a lot of different technologies, largely medical devices. In that space, I took a product from concept through to global distribution, which was an exciting ride, and it's part of that whole entrepreneurship. What led me into that was I started out my career in electrical engineering and then moved on and did an economics degree. So I had that desire to get involved in business and starting business up from an early stage.
And what about your technical specialties? Would you say you have some particular areas that you're very strong in?
There's some specialty there, and I've got good strong background in electrical engineering. Not that I did a degree in that, it was a lower level, but it gave me that insight into what I needed to know and to be able to work with engineering teams. So I've got a very strong understanding of what's needed around product development, getting product ready for market, and also the whole market fit for a product. So getting customer feedback and being able to communicate that back to an engineering team to develop the right product for the market.
And what do you like about your role at Uniseed?
I think, one of the great things about Uniseed is the people we work with, and the fact that our investments are not just for a capital return, and it's absolutely one of the things that we are looking for, but the idea that we're working with the universities to bring tech out, to get those starts and have that other impact associated with the investment. We're dealing with very smart people and people that are normally looking for that help and support to get an entity or an idea across the line. So I think being able to work with people right through that phase and across all sorts of industries, all sorts of technology, it's quite exciting. Every day you learn something new.
And I guess it's a good time to sort of ask this because we've just been through the COVID lockdown and we're just starting to come out of it. So how has the investment landscape changed recently?
Well, it's changed a lot, and in some ways, and then not at all in others. We're still getting investments across the line, but there's that uncertainty, and I think everyone's dealing with that, just wondering what's going to come next. But I think what we're looking to do is push ahead as best we can. We're working with partners still. We're looking for the technology to try and come out of the other side stronger. One of the things, obviously, and I think every fund did this, was looked internally at the companies we're already invested in. And I think it's really important that you do support the companies. And that's something that Uniseed does, is make sure that the people we're involved with, we are strong in supporting them throughout. And this was one of those tests of that. So our first reaction was to look internally, but now we're looking to move on and bring other investments in.
Great, thanks. And what then do you look for in a new investment?
There's a number of things that you look for. Obviously, it's got to be a good idea to start with, and being able to relate the idea back to a market opportunity. And that's one of the things from my background, that always looking to see who's going to be paying for the tech at some point in time, and making sure that the idea is matched to a need in the marketplace, as opposed to, unfortunately, there are just some really good ideas that don't have a commercial outcome. What I really look for is that, and also, it always comes back to the team and being able to deliver against that idea, and really seeing that the whole thing can come together. People are open enough to recognise they don't have all of the skills at the point in time, so you can bring a whole team together and deliver it. So that's an important thing to look for as well.
So flipping that around, what are some of the things that would stop you investing?
It's always easy to say no to an investment. There's always reasons that come up to be able to say no. So really, it comes back to being able to be easy to work with, I think, and be able to communicate your ideas. I think open communication is really important, both between us and any people that are bringing forward a new idea. Not having that link to a market, obviously, is counter to what I said earlier. One of the other things that's really important around an investment is having some security around the IP or the idea, and being able to take that forward. If that looks a bit too crowded, or it just hasn't got a secure position, it's hard to make an investment.
Okay, so talk about perhaps some of the investments that you're involved with now, and what really excited you about those, or what excites you about those opportunities.
Yeah, I guess one that I'm involved with is Ultra, which is a Internet of Things play with electrical transformers. They're monitoring the status of the transformer, its age, and a lot of different parameters within the transformer. And it's addressing a market around an asset aging. And this is something that is growing globally. There's a lot more infrastructure around the world. There's being able to get the information and manage that asset better. It has a significant impact. So you can see the impact in the market. There's a good team of people together. They've brought experienced people together that are going to be able to break into the market, deal with the potential partners, and also be able to raise the capital that they need to take it to the next level.
And what about another one I know you're involved with, Ageris? You just want to talk briefly about that?
Yeah, Ageris is a great technology out of University of Sydney. They have developed robots for working on farms, and it's progressing along such that they're now doing automatic weeding. They're doing lots of machine learning around the crop to give information back to the farmers to show that they can better monitor and manage their crops and deliver better outcomes. So there's a lot of value add associated with that technology. It's not just a robot to go up and down the rows. It brings a lot of information back to the farmers. So that's the real difference. And again, a very strong engineering team with a lot of experience.
And just to finish off, for researchers and students at the research organisations who are looking, to form a startup or commercialise their technology, what hints do you have for them in terms of that first meeting that they have with you?
I think it's about not having too many high expectations. It's really important to get to know people over a period of time when you're doing an investment. So these things never happen quickly. So being aware of the timeframes associated with investments is important, and making sure you're open and honest. I think being able to communicate with students or researchers, that they've often spent a lot of time and are very focused and very knowledgeable in this one part of the market. And sometimes it's hard to bring that back to someone who's coming from outside such that they can understand. So having that open communication and recognizing that people aren't up as far as you are and they're not going to run as hard as you are on that point. It's great to have that enthusiasm, but you need to learn to be able to bring people along on the journey. And I think an initial initial meeting with Uniseed, it's a good start point to practice bringing people along on your story and along on your journey.